Okay, so a couple of people were asking me about at the therapist dinner tonight the telehealth licenses. So, as you know, there are some telehealth licenses that are only available to people that are already licensed in another state. So, these telehealth licenses, one is Florida and it's free and it is tied to your main license. So, the only proviso is that if you do get a Florida telehealth license, you're not able to see people in Florida physically in the state. You can only see them if you're outside the state. Now, it does not have an expiration date. The only thing is it requires you to have a registered agent so that if they ever send you any kind of correspondence from the state of Florida, that there's somebody physically in Florida to receive it. So most people use a company called Florida Registered Agent, and it used to be $35 a year, now it's $49 a year. And that again, it's free. So the other license that's also free is Vermont, and Vermont is tied also to your main license, and it I think the current expiration date is like December of 2026 or 2027, but there's legislation pending in Vermont that is going to make it a permanent telehealth license. So it started off as a temporary one, but it keeps getting extended. And that also has the same provision where you cannot see anyone in Vermont if you are in the state. So it's only for people licensed that are going to be delivering services to Vermont residents that are in the state. So that is also free. South Carolina also has one, and it is $10. It is, again, tied to your main license, and same rules apply. You can only give sessions if you're licensed in another state and you are physically outside of South Carolina at the time that you deliver service. So that is, so that is the third one. And then the fourth one is Idaho. Idaho is, I think last I checked, it was like $50 or $60, but you have to apply by paper. It doesn't yet have an online ability to apply for this license. Again, same rules apply. You can only be located outside of Idaho to give the sessions, and obviously already licensed elsewhere. I don't know if there's any other states that's introduced any kind of legislation. I do know Minnesota has a temporary license that is good for about 6 months. And if you're licensed elsewhere, it's to help the people of Minnesota who are in need of services because of, well, we all know what happened in Minnesota. So my admin has posted the links to these 4 licenses. And if I hear of any other telehealth licenses that are available for currently licensed people, I will post it. And for anyone who is looking to expand their practice, it's a quick way to do it without having to go through the whole like relicensing, and it's a much more cost effective process. So that's the info about telehealth licenses. If you have any questions, just send me a direct message.